behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Palm Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode. We got a great interview in just a moment. But before we begin, don't forget about that subscribe button and bell buttons if you haven't clicked those yet, and you're always going to be notified of any new episodes coming your way. Leave a comment on the comments section if you'd like. We'd love to hear from you there. And pay attention to the description and closing credits at the end of this episode, because we're going to have contact info for you. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that. From Eagle Pass, Texas today, we have Poncho Nevarez, a very awesome artist. I think you're going to love him. And we're going to get to that in a second. But first, here's a quick word from the Caden Gordon Show. So don't go away. We'll be right back right after this commercial.
It is Caden from the Caden Gordon Show. Today's best country mix. Check out my show at thecadengordonshow.com.
Okay, we're back, and with us from Eagle Pass, Texas today, we have Poncho Nevarez, and thank you so much for being on the show, Poncho.
Thank you for having me, Paul. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad to have you here. So everyone has their story about how they just started to, or where they discovered music. I mean, I'm sure you have your own story. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I mean, I've been playing instruments for as long as I can remember, and I kind of stopped, in my 20s. I didn't play very much. And I started playing the piano, and then I went to the guitar, and then I just kind of left it. And in my late 30s, early 40s, I got asked to play in a cover band, and I realized that I didn't want to play somebody else's music. And so I just started writing my own, or working on writing my own. And I figured out I had something to say maybe about 10 years ago. And I started working on and playing live and playing my own songs live. And that's kind of how I got going.
Okay, well, that's a great story, and I'm glad you found music. I'm sure you have many years ahead of you, so hope you have good luck with that. Well, what were some of the artists that influenced you when you were growing up? I mean, I'm sure some of the legends come to mind.
Yeah, I mean, I liked as a kid, I really liked Elton John.
Mhm.
We had a lot of records around the house, and so I remember listening to Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. I really liked that record. I liked Caribou a lot. I listened to Johnny Cash. I like the Everly Brothers a lot. My dad would listen to the Everly Brothers, and I really loved how simple the songs were, but how intricate the harmonies were. I really love that. And to this day, like I love singing along to the Everly Brothers in my car because I just love the harmonies part. I liked a lot of like traditional 5-piece rock bands. I like Bob Seger a lot. I liked a lot of like odd stuff too, like the Louvin Brothers. I like those because that's like really bluegrassy, gospel-y. But I liked it because of the harmonies. They just really sang the harmonies well. And as I got older, I started listening to a lot of different. I love New Order. I think that's a great band. I love Merle Haggard. But I listen to a lot of, like, now my kids turn me on to a lot of, like, right now my favorite band is Middle Kids. I just love Middle Kids. And I love Gangs of Youth, which is another really great kind of new band. I like I love Jason Isbell. I think he's a fantastic songwriter.
Mhm.
Ryan Adams is another songwriter that I admire. But I mean, I've got, like, right now I'm listening to a Paul McCartney record. That's what I'm listening to, and I think tomorrow I'm gonna listen to a Sadler Vaden record. He plays guitar with Jason Isbell, Harry Nilsson. I've got teed up. I got a Harry Styles record teed up. Tom Petty's Wildflowers I listen to a lot. It's great inspiration. I mean, man, I could go on and on.
Right. Yeah, those are some good ones, especially the ones you mentioned, like Elton John and Everly Brothers, Paul McCartney, and many others. Some of those you mentioned, they were really great bands. I really enjoyed listening to them. Um, Well, tell us how we can find you. I mean, yeah, I guess you're on streaming platforms, but maybe you're on social media as well as
Sure.
official website. I mean, tell everybody about how they can find you.
Sure, they can find me on Facebook, Poncho Nevarez at Facebook. They can find me on Threads, Poncho Nevarez. My band is also on there, the Red Floors, and so
Mhm.
I'm kind of in a. I'm starting to. What I'm probably gonna do is kind of bury the band thing and then just be me because it's basically my alter ego and the guys that I played with. It's kind of hard to keep a band together, right? But I'm kind of moving forward in terms of the musicians that I'm playing with, and we're finishing a new record. I released this record a couple years back, and I never stopped writing songs. I probably have 40 something songs demoed. We'll probably have like between 13 and 14 on this record, and I think the next record is already kind of writing itself. And so I never stop. Some of the stuff works and some of it doesn't, but you can find me. My music streaming on every platform: Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. You can buy a vinyl copy of the record at Amazon. We sell those at the live shows, but we also sell them online. You can buy it at 7172records.com as well. And that's kind of how we put our music out there, right?
Okay, well, everybody go there to Facebook and streaming and go to Amazon and so forth and get all his music. I know you're going to love it. And speaking of that, we got this video for you coming up in a second. It's called 57. What's the story behind that song? We'd love to hear that.
So it's an anthem. One of my kids was saying, "Why don't you write an anthem like Bruce Springsteen?" I was like, "Okay, well," and so I wrote it that way, meaning it was an homage to that type of songwriting, and it was a love letter of sorts to home, and I think it applies universally. I think it's a kind of a somewhat twisted love letter to wherever you're from, and I think for people that don't, and 57 is a highway, right? It runs all the way from basically all the way from Argentina all the way to Canada. It's basically the Pan American Highway, and so it runs right through here. It runs right across this international bridge that's like 5 blocks away from where I'm sitting now. And it was the way out and the way back, and so the song tracks that. Basically, the way out is the way back, and and I was going through some things personally uh, that fueled a lot of my songwriting, and it was drug addiction and alcoholism, and it I think this was me, another one of these attempts to try to explain that about myself in a way that I couldn't at the time. I don't have any trouble explaining that about myself today, but I had to do it a lot in music, and I still do because there's a lot of stories and a lot of things about that period of my life that I didn't deal with, that I'm dealing with personally, and I deal with it in my music. And so I think that song it's that, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, it is a great song. I've listened to this a couple of times. I can't get enough of it. I know you guys are going to feel the same way.
Thank you.
And we'll get to that in a second. But Poncho, thank you so much for being on the show today. Come back anytime you want to plug something new. Maybe we'll have you back on sometime.
I appreciate you, Paul, and I to everybody out there listening and watching. Paul does a great job of asking great questions, and I'm really grateful that there's a platform for independent artists to put their music out there. So thank you, Paul.
Well, thank you so much for that kind words there, Poncho. You made my day. And let's go right to the video 57, and it starts right now.
Ain't no rain in this border town. Ancient sun, it'll beat a good man down. And the lines on my face tell me how.